Well, behind me here is of course the Engwe N1 Air. This also comes in a Pro model, but this is the N1 Air right behind me. And we need to really test out this bike, see what the speed is, comfort, test the brakes and things like that. Let's do all that first, then we'll break it down in more detail, what I like about the bike, maybe some things that I dislike about the bike, and then give my overall verdict. Should you buy this or just pass on it altogether? Okay, let's briefly talk about the spec. It is a carbon fibre frame with an aluminium fork. It does have a torque sensor outputting 40 Newton meters. It has a front light and a solar tail light. It has 7 Shimano gears, 160mm front and rear mechanical disc brakes, a 36 volt 10 amp hour Samsung battery with a mileage of up to 100 kilometers and a top speed of 25 kilometers with a charging time of up to 8 hours. So here's the first ride, let's have a look. So this is my first ride on the latest Mach 4 N1 Air carbon fibre bike from Engwe, and this is definitely a first for me. It's the lightest bike I've ever had on the channel. So we'll do a speed test now, and then we'll do a hill test as well. It has a 250 watt motor. And one quick thing to note, the prices on this is going to be increasing within the next few weeks. So if you are to get a very lightweight bike, if you are in the market for something, this is definitely one to consider because of course, all the tariffs. Prices are starting to go through the roof. So let's do a speed test, see what we can get up to. Motor, very quiet. Immediately we got up to that top speed of 25 kilometers per hour. We are on assistance 5, so let's just stop. Let's put it on to 1. You have 7 Shimano gears on this also. So, of course, the least, if you have that on level 1, you will save more battery. If you have it on level 5, you will, of course, use a lot more battery. It does have street tires, but very nice. Also, the handlebars are actually adjustable. I have them completely flat, but if you want, you can have them a bit more towards your chest. So let me just pop that up to 5. Immediately, as soon as you put it on to 5, you have, of course, great torque from the motor, which is 40 Newton meters. It's not crazy amount of torque, but it will definitely get you up most hills. It's extremely lightweight. Tires are narrow but do very good grip. It does have mechanical disc braking, so let's just do both at the same time. Yeah, it has big rotors as well, so stopping, yeah, generally not an issue on something like this. Very easy to maintain. Mechanical disc brakes, you can change the pads within seconds. I have videos already on the channel. Let me just show you as well how lightweight this is. I'm lifting that with one hand. This weighs, check this out, only 15 kilograms. Okay, so there's a slight incline here. We're on assistance 5, and it is a torque sensor if I'm not mistaken. So coming up a hill like this, of course it's an absolute breeze because the bike is so lightweight. It's climbing it. It's climbing it. This hill is probably only maybe max up to 10 degrees, but yeah, done actually quite a good job there. So very happy with that. Gear shifting is very smooth on this. Because this bike is so light, it will make it definitely ideal for taking it on and off public transport or putting it into the back of your car or even a bike rack. That is the convenience factor of such a bike from Engwe. Very happy with the weight, and movability is very easy. Okay, so let's talk about a few things. Then we'll see, you know, in my opinion, is it actually worth the money that they are looking for? By the way, do take note of this. The price increase on a lot of products are going to be happening very soon, and this is one of the products that's going to be increasing within the next few weeks. So if you really want this product, now is the time to get it, or else it's going to cost you a lot more because of the recent increases across the world. But let's talk about performance. Okay, we have a rear 250 watt motor on this. given a 40 Newton meter amount of torque. And to be honest, it's actually not too bad. It will get you up the average size hill, and you shouldn't struggle because of course you have the 7 Shimano gears up there giving you that push. So from a hill standpoint, it's not a problem. This bike only has a top speed of 25 kilometers an hour with that rear motor of 250 watts, which means it will basically suit a lot of countries that are very strict, particularly across Europe right now. So it falls within most of those regulations, and it is only 15 kilograms in weight from that carbon fiber frame and that aluminium fork. So let's talk about some of the good features of the Engwe. So this bike has a 36 volt 10 amp hour Samsung cell battery. You do get 2 keys with this bike, and of course you simply pop it in there and the battery comes out in a matter of seconds. So if you live in an area like an apartment, for example, where you are tight for space, you can just take it out and you simply just charge it through the charging port right here. And yeah, very good indeed. Simple, small, sleek, extremely well built. Of course it is from Engwe, so there's no question really about the quality from them. But overall, a very good feature to have. This bike also has GEO-Fencing. I'll show you the app now in a minute. And it also has a built-in alarm. So let me just show you that. And then to pop the battery in, you simply do that, lock it, and that's it. So this is actually really... Okay, there we go. You can hear the alarm there. It has a built-in alarm on this, and it alerts you through the app. So if you lock this bike outside, you go in for something to eat, for example, the alarm will go off. So will, of course, people will start to look around. What is that? Because it is actually quite loud, and it is extremely sensitive as well. Plus, okay, I'm going to stop moving the bike. Plus, it'll actually alert you on the app, and you can see the location of the bike. And within the app, you can basically tie this bike to your profile. So if somebody did actually steal the bike, they actually cannot use it because they will not be able to unlock it. Another great feature from Engwe that they are adopting this type of technology. But I'll give you a quick look at the app right now. Well, let's briefly talk about the Engwe, which is their latest app. You can of course see the battery percentage, you can change the assistance levels, you can lock the bike, turn on and off the lights. It also, you can find your bike as well through GPS, you can ring the bell. It also alerts you if the bike happens to be moved when the alarm does go off on the bike. You can also geo-fence the bike as well, making it to where the bike can and cannot go. You can of course set a password. And of course you can have a few different alerts. Plus, if you happen to sell this bike to your friend, you simply unbind the bike and they can have it and set it up for themselves. So it is convenient. So let's talk about the comfort. Handlebars are actually quite wide on this model. Grips are actually quite good quality. You have a pretty basic display. Let me just show you that. Standard basic display here. You have gears 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you don't want to use your battery, you simply have it on 0. For your lights, again, pretty simple. You just hold down the plus button, and then of course your front light will come on like so. And then of course you have a rear light. Plus these are also automatic as well. You can adjust the sensitivity like I showed through the app, which is a very good thing. Again, you can tilt the handlebars up more towards your chest. You do get a standard finger bell here. And then of course when you turn off the bike and then you turn on the bike, it basically has this kind of cool Engwe sound like this built into this really cool speaker, and that flashes red of course. And then you pair the bike using this QR code as well. So very nice sleek design. Saddle is actually very comfortable, does a fantastic job. Mud guards are completely wraparound, so you won't really get water on your backside. Kickstand, very sturdy. The bike is not going to fall. It's at pretty much the perfect angle, to be honest. So again, nothing to worry about there. This comes in a couple of different colours. This is, of course, is the green, which really stands out. You of course have those really nice 160mm disc rotors with those mechanical disc brake calipers, giving you decent stopping power. Again, nothing crazy. When it comes to a few other things such as charging the e-bike, it doesn't come with a fast charger, but it will take around maximum 8 hours to charge this fully. Distance wise, 100km distance using basically only assistant mode 1. Of course, if you're using assistant mode 5, you will of course drain the battery a lot quicker. Basically, the more you use your legs, the more battery you will save. And of course, like what I mentioned, very nice. Now this bike doesn't have suspension, but to be honest, it's not really much of a deal breaker, because I'll talk about who this bike is for now in a second. But overall comfort is quite good. The tires are quite decent. The shock is actually not too bad from them. Of course, if you're going over crazy bumps, you will feel it through your body, but from the style of framing that's actually, it's not too bad, and it's not much of a deal breaker for me. From a safety aspect, of course, you have the lights, you have the brakes there. It also would not be too bad in rain, because the way it is actually designed into the frame there. So again, of course, always be cautious in rain, but from a safety standpoint, nothing really to worry about. If you can, charge this outside or charge your battery outside, and of course never leave them charging throughout the night, just from a safety standpoint. Now, of course, you need to think about what you're getting here. You are getting a bike that is lightweight, very lightweight for an electric bike, that has good speed, good torque, good safety features, pretty basic. It has that app, it has the GEO-Fencing built in. If you don't know what GEO-Fencing is, by the way, you can basically mark out within the app where the bike can go and not go. So if it goes outside of that boundary, the bike actually completely shuts down. A lot of rental electric scooters have that feature, and some e-bikes if you ever travel around in Spain and stuff like that. Again, very good feature. Of course, you have the 7 Shimano gears. Comfort is quite decent. Build quality is excellent. So again, no complaints at all. But is it worth the money? So at the time of shooting this video, this is just under 1,400 euros. Okay, so they are going to increase soon because of the tariffs around the world. It is what it is at the end of the day. I think it's actually worth the money if you want something that is basically an A to B commuter, not an off-roader. Will get you there safely, efficiently, and you have nothing to worry about from a quality standpoint of the build quality. I think the bike is worth the money if you are looking to invest in something that you're going to use a lot long term. By the way, I didn't mention the gear shifting. The gear shifting on this bike is actually very decent, nice and smooth, really dialed into the bike, and it looks pretty cool. And of course, you have that security feature. Just take out your battery if you're locking it outside. Once they see the battery is removed, more than likely they ain't going to touch your bike. I think it's worth the money. If you have enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you want to see more powerful bikes, click on the end screen right now, and I'll talk to you in the next video.